Welcome to the She Said Privacy, He Said Security podcast. Like any good marriage, we will debate, evaluate, and sometimes quarrel about how privacy and security impact business in the 21st century.
Hi, Jodi Daniels here. I'm the founder and CEO of Clover Advisors, a certified women's privacy consultancy. I'm a privacy consultant and a certified informational privacy professional, and I provide practical privacy advice to overwhelmed companies.
Hello, Justin Daniels here. I am passionate about helping companies solve complex cyber and privacy challenges during the life cycle of their business. I am the cyber quarterback, helping clients design and implement cyber plans, as well as help them manage and recover from data breaches.
And this episode is brought to you by, that was a little weird, Clover Advisors. We help companies to comply with data privacy laws and establish customer trust so that they can grow and nurture integrity. We work with companies in a variety of fields, including technology, SaaS, e-commerce, media agencies, professional and financial services. In short, we use data privacy to transform the way companies do business. Together, we're creating a future where there is greater trust between companies and consumers. To learn more, visit redcloveradvisors.com. And today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We are not bringing on a special guest. We are going to talk about our top 5 stories of 2021 so far.
And just like Red Clover transforms businesses, this will be a transformative episode.
For sure, because we're recording on a Sunday afternoon. And what else would we want to do on a Sunday afternoon except to record a podcast?
And try to stay out of trouble at home.
Yeah, that part's not going to work out so well. So to get us started, Justin, what is your number one favorite story of 2021 so far?
I think my favorite story of the year would have to be Colonial Pipeline and its aftermath, because from my vantage point, I really think that that whole incident has really transformed the way that businesses look at cybersecurity.
You really like that word, transform.
Well, it's top of mind. It's like in my head, but
why is it so transformational?
I think it's transformational because once you brought a cyber incident into, hey, we're about to not have gas at the pumps. Now you have a real world consequence that people can wrap their head around. And now they say, this cybersecurity stuff is kind of important. And now you're seeing litigation unfurl where, mom and pop gas stations want to sue Colonial Pipeline because they're saying they were negligent in their cybersecurity hygiene, and it caused the gas stations to not have gas and lose profit.
Well, that was an interesting finding. Is there anything else you'd like to share about Colonial Pipeline before we move on to number 2?
I think the last thing I'll say is I'm just seeing now where when I start talking about cybersecurity issues with clients and prospects, it's like I'm E.F. Hutton now from the 80s. People want to listen to what I have to say. MFA is now becoming table stakes, meaning if other businesses you're going to contract with don't use multi-factor authentication, then I have clients now who say, you know what, we're not going to do business with you. I have now put actual cybersecurity loan covenants into a major loan agreement that basically says, hey, borrower, you can't borrow $40 million unless you pay attention to cyber hygiene. And if you violate some of these covenants, we're going to hold you personally responsible.
Well, to move on to a more privacy topic, one of my favorite, and mine might not be stories that you've seen in the news, but just personal stories that we've experienced because we're always thinking about privacy. And often we were mattress shopping, and we went into a very popular mattress store. We're not going to actually name the particular brand. And while we were shopping, we learned about all the smart features of this mattress. Nowhere in the process did the salesperson explain, or was there any information in the store about the privacy or security of the data that they would be collecting from all of the people who purchase this mattress and use all of the technology. The technology monitors things like how well I've slept and how much I've tossed and turned. I think it even had heart rate and a variety of all kinds of other information that was about us on an app. It also had Wi-Fi connected to my bed, which I wasn't totally comfortable with the Wi-Fi part connected to my bed. I was told I could turn the Wi-Fi part off. So that was great. But we found it really interesting that the features were emphasized, and at no point was there any discussion of how long they keep this data for. Do they keep it until I say, please delete it? Do they use it for any other purpose? Do they aggregate it? Do they measure sleep trends? Do they share it with anybody else? Do they use it to build new technology? There was absolutely zero explanation. And Justin, I think you went home and then checked the privacy notice because that's what we do. And what did you find when you went to look at the privacy notice?
I found some articles about this company, and there were some concerns about how their privacy policy read in terms of, to Jodi's point, what data you could share, who you could share it with. But I guess it's more important to talk about the fact that we were on a vacation and we actually wanted to download a privacy notice. I'm not sure what it says about the two of us. I'll leave it up to our viewers to decide. But I think from my standpoint, what was fascinating is like when I get a garage door, when they put one in our house, all the sales process does is focus. Oh, you're going to love being able to open your garage door from wherever. Oh, you're going to love all the data you get from your sleep app. But they don't talk anything about the privacy or security of that data. It still continues to be an afterthought.
So lesson is to all of our listeners and viewers, the next cool technology app to whatever connected item you're trying to purchase, pay attention to the privacy and security notices. And if you are one of those companies, please create some privacy and security notices and explain them to your sales team. Justin, what's item number 3?
Well, before we go to item number 3, I want to add one other thing. Or if you want to be entertained, start asking privacy questions of the salesperson and just see how they react and see how crazy that they think you are.
There's that too. Yeah. All right, let's go to number 3.
So number 3, where do we want to go with number 3? I guess
it's a short episode.
It's a short episode. Fine. I can't go on one of my long tomes. Nope. I guess another thing that I find fascinating, and again, this is personal to me because I know we have a bit of a drone following of our podcast. And for me is it's seeing a lot of the drone technology starting to be adopted. Like I've had a client where at our construction site, our contractor hired a drone pilot. And so they were flying over the site. And I said, well, where's your prior authorization? Because we're in really restricted airspace because we're near a major airport. And that drone was immediately grounded. But my larger point is when I'm looking at all the development of this particular technology, what is striking to me is there's really not been enough discussion about the privacy and security that goes around drones. Whenever we have people come to our house, I love to take a photo of the people that come, but that camera is so high resolution, and all you have to do is combine it with a database of either license plate recognition or facial recognition, and it is literally a data surveillance collection machine. And I'm still not hearing the debate that I would like to hear about how we're going to implement this particular technology and get a better balance between the innovation and the benefit and privacy and security.
And for number 4, I am struggling with the balance that people have to have of convenience versus privacy or security. So the story here is I was looking to buy something online, and with one of my credit cards, they have all types of special offers. And I love actually that they're kind of tailored to me. And here's a long list of 100+ offers. And you kind of pick the ones that you want. And if you go and buy something from this retailer, whether it's online or not, you get $5, $10, 15%, whatever the offer is, kind of automatically back to your card. And I went ahead and was very interested in buying a particular item. It was on sale. And I thought, this is great. I'm going to get the sale price plus the special offer. When it came time to check out, I had a choice. Do I want to give the company my credit card information online, or do I want to use a digital wallet? And I had a choice of Amazon Pay, PayPal, Apple Pay. probably even Google Pay. There were 4 or 5 options. I said, oh, that's great. You know what? I'm going to pick Amazon Pay. So I proceed with Amazon Pay, transactions closed. And then I'm wondering, well, where's my offer? I normally get an email right away. Thanks so much for using your offer. Come to find out, the offer only works if you give the direct credit card information. So as an individual, I chose to try and protect my data and limit how many places I gave my credit card number. And as a result of doing that, I'm penalized by not being able to have the offer and the extra discount. If I want the extra discount, I have to give all of that information. And so to me, that's a big disconnect when these types of programs are getting created and we want people to use all of these digital wallets, but yet we also won't give them some of the extra special perks unless I'm giving more of that personal information. To me, there's just a big disconnect. And I'm hopeful that companies will continue to hear this, see it, enough other people and privacy and security professionals will share, and then we'll move forward.
But isn't that another way of really saying that the company has created their data collection policy to either box you in or really incentivize you to part with that personal information? And as a consumer, you're saying, hey, wait a second. Why is it being rigged this way? Why don't I have more of a choice? Isn't that in effect what the company is trying to do?
Well, it appears to be the website where I bought the item from, they don't have too much control. So the option of being able to use the digital wallet is great from their standpoint. It really is actually with the credit card information that is saying, if it comes through on the digital wallet, we won't give you your offer. So it's really, to me, the credit card company that is not encouraging me to have good, safe practices.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
And what is your last favorite story of 2021 so far?
I think my last favorite story is in the realm of the blockchain.
Ooh, blockchain.
Yes. So I guess as we talk today, this week, there was legislation for the infrastructure bill. It's like a $1 trillion bill. And there was a big fight over a part of the bill that dealt with cryptocurrency. The idea is the government wants more reporting of cryptocurrency transactions so they can be tracked, so that people pay taxes, so that they can use the proceeds from that to fund the infrastructure bill, which makes sense to me. What was interesting was watching the groundswell of the crypto industry, because of course the way the law was written didn't really approximate how things work in the crypto industry. And so what was interesting to me is they proposed an amendment to clarify a definition that would have been more restrictive and not so expansive. And one senator, who I think is like in his 80s, Richard Shelby in Alabama, like every senator has to vote for a amendment. And he said, nope, not voting for it unless I get 50 million more in a defense bill. And then Bernie Sanders in Vermont said, nope, not going to agree to that. And so the whole thing fell apart because one really old guy who doesn't understand cryptocurrency to begin with says, I won't vote for this. And the whole thing fell apart. And I just thought that was an interesting way of using cryptocurrency to shine a light on the dysfunction that goes on when we try to pass federal legislation.
I like it. Well, got whispery.
Well, it's cryptocurrency. It's another thing close to my heart, along with drones and autonomous vehicles.
Oh, so many things close to your heart. Well, we hope that all of our listeners enjoyed a little bit of a different take on the She Said Privacy, He Said Security podcast. If you want to learn more, make sure you visit redcloveradvisors.com/podcast and sign up to make sure you receive the weekly email with your favorite podcast, and go and visit us over at Apple, iTunes, and Spotify, and wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Well, Jodi, before we go, don't you have a really cool speaking engagement coming up here not before long?
Sure, I do. Which one is it?
The one in September.
It's a really cool marketing conference one. Yes.
I'd like to hear more.
I think you're just excited that I'm speaking at the same place where Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg are speaking.
I just want to see the picture you get between Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart, so it goes on the Red Clover website.
There you go. So it's called Traffic and Conversion. For any marketers listening, it is a marketing-focused conference. And many of you know I have a big passion for the intersection of marketing and privacy, and we'll be talking about cookieless marketing at that particular conference.
That sounds like
Stay tuned.
That sounds like can't miss.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the She Said Privacy, He Said Security podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes and check us out on LinkedIn. See you next time.